everyone, welcome to Shyam Story Time. My name is Shyamala and I am a passionate storyteller. Today I'm going to tell you another story from King Vikramaditya series. Are you all ready? The name of today's story is The Heart of Goodness. King Vikramaditya, for the person that he was, walked once again back to the drumstick tree, picked up the corpse, hung it on his shoulders and walked towards the crematorium. The Vetal told him another story. This story goes like this. Once upon a time, there was a king and he had 3 daughters. All the 3 princesses were so delicate. They were faint-hearted. In fact, one would get her skin burnt if she looks up the sunlight. Another, if a flower petal touches her body, she would just go black all over her. And the third one, if she hears any sound, she would just faint. All the 3 of them were extremely delicate and very good at heart. The king wondered, how am I going to get them married? They are so faint-hearted, extremely delicate. Who would marry them? Thought the king. The 3 princesses had a maid. The name of the maid was Manthara. Manthara was very affectionate towards all the 3 princesses. Every time Manthara does service to the princesses, each one would gift her a jewel of their own. Likewise, Manthara had a chain, she had earrings, she had bangles, all of them gifted by the princesses. The king one day shared his grief with the maid Manthara because he knew that all the 3 princesses were quite close to Manthara. They considered her their friend. So the king said, how am I going to get them married? It looks like they have a disease in them because they are so faint-hearted. Is it not? Asked the king. Manthara told the king, don't you worry, your majesty. I know a physician who lives in the next village. He is an Ayurveda physician. He has a lot of medicines to cure such ailments in people. If you want, I will walk all the way to the next village all by myself, fetch the physician and bring him to our royal palace. He can treat our princesses. Don't you worry, she said. The king was very happy. That seems to be like a good idea. Manthara, go right away, fetch the physician, said the king. Manthara the next day got ready and she walked towards the next village. This news was kept as a secret. Not many people knew about it. As Manthara crossed a forest in between and then walked into the edge of the next village, there was a poor man who came and begged for alms. You seem to be an abled person. Why don't you work and earn money? Asked Manthara. The old man said, yes, I may be an abled person, but I have 2 daughters in the marriable age and I don't have any money to get them married. Manthara was a very generous person. She was kind too. Immediately she removed her jewelry, her chain, her earrings, her bangles, everything she removed and gave it to the old man. She said, use this jewelry to get your daughter married. Don't worry, everything will be fine. She blessed him and she walked off to meet the physician. She told the physician everything all about the 3 princesses and how the king had asked her to fetch him. The physician agreed and both of them, the physician and Manthara, the maid, walked back to the palace. The king was extremely happy to host the physician. He took him to the chambers of the princesses. The king introduced his princesses to the royal physician. The princesses immediately looked at Manthara and asked her, where is the jewelry that we had gifted you? You don't seem to wear any of those. Manthara told them the truth. She said, on the way, I met an old man who didn't have money to get his daughters married. So I removed my jewelry and gave it to him so he can get his daughters married. At that point, all the 3 princesses got furious on Manthara. They said, how dare you give away the jewelry that we gifted you? They all belong to our royal treasury. You are not allowed to do that. And they started to yell at Manthara. Now the physician was very patiently looking at this entire drama. How delicate my 3 daughters are. Do you have any medicine to cure their ailment? Asked the king. Do you know what the physician replied the king? He said, oh, your majesty, they are not having any ailment at all. Please be aware of that. In fact, they are not even faint-hearted, said the physician. At this point in time, the Vetal stopped the story and asked King Vikramaditya, do you know who was the most faint-hearted? Who was the most delicate? Who had the heart of goodness amongst all these people? Asked Vetal. King Vikramaditya thought for a moment. If he opened his mouth to speak a word, that's it. Vetal would fly back to the tree. If he knew the answer and stayed quiet, his head would burst into a million pieces. Having known that, King Vikramaditya decided he would utter the answer. And this is what he said. The most faint-hearted, the one that had the heart of goodness amongst all of them, is Manthara the maid, not the three princesses, he said. Vetal asked, how do you say that, dear king? King Vikramaditya replied once again, saying that she had the heart of goodness because when she looked at the old man begging for alms, she gave away all her jewelry. Whereas the three princesses who are claimed to be faint-hearted, they started to yell at their maid. They are not delicate people. It is Manthara the maid who is actually the most delicate person, answered King Vikramaditya. Vetal said, Your Majesty, I am very impressed with all your answers. Nevertheless, you have spoken. I have to return to the drumstick tree. Saying so, the Vetal disengaged itself from the king and flew back to the drumstick tree. What happened next? You have to wait for the next episode. You will get to hear it next Saturday. Did you like today's story? If you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sham Storytime. You will have access to all the stories that I upload. Every week you get to hear 2 stories. On Saturdays there's a story of King Vikramaditya in English, and on Sundays you get to hear a Panchatantra tale in Tamil. Watch, listen and enjoy all the tales. My name is Shamala and I am a passionate storyteller. I will meet you in the next episode. Bye.